Good morning, everyone, and happy holidays. My name is Donald Gordon. I'm the Director of Sales for SmartTAP Recording Solutions, and I support North America, Central America, and Latin America. I'm based here in sunny Florida. We are recording today's session so we could share that with you after today's call. And during the call, if you have any questions, please post them on the Q&A tab. And my SmartTAP project team, Tanya and Brody, will be able to answer them for you in real time. So just to get started, folks, today I'm going to give you an overview of SmartTAP. We're going to talk about why SmartTAP call recording is a game changer, because there's multiple use cases for SmartTAP, as well as new release 5.6, which talks about analytics and sentiment analysis. So to set the stage, guys, AudioCodes Live is a portfolio of managed services for Microsoft Teams. We can offer direct routing as a service, audio video as a service, and call recording as a service. As the marketplace has moved from appliances to the cloud, so has AudioCodes. The product is called SmartTAP 360 because we can capture everything 360 degrees. Be it voice, video, screen share, and chat, as well as mobile calls. We can record them as well. The product was built for Microsoft Teams. We're fully certified by Microsoft, and we're listed on their website. If you look at recording solution drivers, the number one driver for call recording is really around regulated industries, be it finance, insurance, and government agencies. The second solution driver is around improving customer experience, and the use case to drive efficiencies of the staff and to measure quality of the call and use it for coaching purposes. An example of that is if you have a manager in a call center and he wants to listen to the agent's call, they can listen to those calls, score those calls, and coach the agents accordingly. When it comes to analytics, managers in the call center can set up predefined words and scripts that they want the agents to follow. And then they can measure how that call went with sentiment analysis, and the calls can be graded, positive, neutral, negative. And I'll share more about it, analytics with you in some slides to come. The next category is convenient recording. This is a Microsoft term. It's really based on boosting team collaboration and, once again, capturing those crucial conversations. And then you have malicious call recording. Companies need to reduce abusive threats by disgruntled employees. An employee may potentially pass on proprietary information to a competitor. They need to reduce that exposure and limit themselves to that risk. If you look at the industry verticals and call recording solutions in each of the verticals, the first one there is government and education. Well, with COVID, schools did remote learning, and parent-teacher calls were recorded and remote as well. So that was a good use case because the teachers can reference those calls, go back to the calls, and pick up key points that they may have missed. From a healthcare standpoint, you're able to capture insurance provided details accurately the first time, as well as accurately schedule appointments, because you can go back and listen to the recording if you didn't write it down properly. With finance and insurance, obviously Dodd-Frank is a big regulation in the US. In the EU, you've got MiFID II and GDPR. It's all about regulations and recording those calls for compliance purposes in those verticals. And then when it comes to energy and utility, here it's about improving overall customer experience and handling the calls more efficiently and faster. When it comes to advanced compliance features, I mentioned GDPR and MiFID II being EU regulations. There's also e-discovery, where you can record calls for investigations and those calls are time-stamped, they cannot be tampered with, and they can be used in litigation and criminal proceedings. PCI recording, a good use case there is if you need to take credit card information. You don't need to record the entire call, you just need to capture that credit card information. Or in the case of an insurance company, a claims agent may need to take down just the claim only and doesn't need to record the entire conversation. At the end of the day, AudioCodes provides a toolkit and feature set for clients to be compliant, but it's up to the customer to meet the compliancy standards. What's new with SmartTAP 360? Basically, this slide is a big differentiator for us. AudioCodes has got a flexible solution with 3 different options. You could use AudioCodes Azure, which is a turnkey recording solution fully hosted by AudioCodes, or the Customer Azure, which is a managed service offering where we manage the customer's Azure. And then you've got the hybrid solution where everything is on-prem except for the bot. That needs to be in the cloud, and that's mandated by Microsoft. With these 3 options, it's important to remember that it's a very simple pricing model. It's price per user per month. If you look at the architecture for AudioCodes Azure and Customer Azure, basically you've got the main office or branch office. If you take a user in one of those offices, the user would make just to go through the call flow, the user would make a call. MS Teams invites the bot to the call. The bot then records the call, captures that metadata, and then SmartTAP records the call and stores it in the blob storage. With the hybrid architecture, as I mentioned, everything is on-prem. This is really geared towards large call recording deployments. So everything's on-prem except for the bot. The bot is in the cloud, and once again, that's a Microsoft requirement. So you've got the SmartTAP application, you've got the storage, and then you're connected to the cloud via a VPN. From a security standpoint, AudioCodes secures everything. We not only meet and exceed Microsoft's strict security requirements, and we've been vetted in this area by large banks and brokerage firms where security is utmost important. We secure the bot, we secure the SmartTAP server, we secure the blob storage, and any data that passes through is fully encrypted. Now, here's the fun stuff. With Power of Analytics, this is the release 5.6 with analytics and sentiment analysis. So basically, with analytics and sentiment analysis, the key features are transcription, keyword detection, words not spoken, and then sentiment analysis. And these are all features of SmartTAP and will help clients build meaningful use cases for SmartTAP call recording solution. If you take an example for compliance, banks need to record sales of stocks and bonds in order to prove to regulators that they did what the customer requested and the sale was executed in a timely fashion. With analytics, keywords and phrases and scripts can be set up along with alerts, like if the customer says cancel. Banks and brokerage firms clearly need to retain clean records of all these calls to avoid costly penalties and embarrassment for their companies. And typically, when the Federal Trade Commission audits banks and brokerage firms, they'll give them 60 days to produce this information. So it needs to be, produced in a timely fashion. When it comes to quality recording, typically, it's important to measure agents' performance and provide them coaching based on real voice data rather than assumptions. With analytics, sales agents say the right thing at the right time while they're speaking to prospects. Marketing teams can listen to customer calls. They can listen to customer questions. They can receive feedback and better understand the customer needs. It's very important. When it comes to sales improvement, by recording your calls, you can reference the material for coaching, as I mentioned earlier, whether it be good or bad. You're less reliant on note-taking, and you get the details right and accurate. And you have the ability to gather insights on what's being said and measure that sentiment analysis, be it positive, neutral, negative. When it comes to analytics, full transcription is basically speech to text. It's offered by Microsoft Cognitive Services, and today we support 100+ languages. You can search for keywords or phrases. And with sentiment analysis, as I mentioned, you can gauge the tone of calls, positive, neutral, negative. And we offer that with 20+ languages today, but Microsoft is adding more languages and countries to those lists on a regular basis. You can also set up categories based on predefined words and phrases. And I'll give you an example of that in a couple slides. If you look at this slide, this is what a manager would look at from analytics and sentiment analysis. The colors across the top are predefined word phrases and words that were set up into the script. And when those words come up, they're populated in the transcription. And you can see the emojis to the left of them. Green is positive, gray is neutral, and red is negative. You know, in this case, the word sorry came up, and the words return. You know, management needs to know how many times and how often employees are apologizing to customers. And it's important for them also to know how many times customers are asking for a return. If you look at this screenshot, it shows a video with analytics and sentiment analysis. It shows the color categories with the transcription and emojis as well. And once again, those colors are across the top bar there. Those are all predefined word phrases and words that they want to populate and have come up in the conversation, so they can look at them. In this case, it's meeting. The word meeting was highlighted in yellow and came up a handful of times there. Guys, that's just a highlight of SmartTAP and what we do. Hopefully I gave you some ideas of some use cases for yourselves and for your clients. I'm available for calls. Please reach out to me. We could also give you a demo, myself and my solutions engineer, Bob Trapp. So thank you for your time and your attendance. Happy holidays. Were there any questions, Brody and Tanya?
I did not see any questions come in, but I guess if there's, we can give a couple minutes, or if there's any other questions or any questions at all.
Folks, if you have any questions, you can either raise them now or put them in the Q&A. Okay, I guess we're good, Brody. Thank you, everyone, for your time.